Hi, Gabby here again. Today I want to talk to you about why it's so important that you talk to parents and other team members about sleep at your CSE meetings. Here's why. If you don't know me yet, my name is Gabby. I'm a BCBA and LBA, and I am a district consultant, but I'm also a behavioral sleep specialist, and I treat a lot of concerns regarding sleep even as I'm working as a district consult. So what happens is you get to these CSE meetings, your team meetings, and parents sometimes casually mention that they have concerns about sleep. Now, as district personnel, it's very hard to be able to kind of sit down and come up with a game plan as we're treating sleep, right? But that might not be your only avenue. If you have a situation where at a CSE team meeting or any other meeting, a parent or caregiver, the home BCBA and RBT, or just a provider, is mentioning that the child has sleep challenges, there are some things that you can do and should do during that meeting to help this family. Sleep concerns can be remediated, right? They're teachable skills that we can work on. So when you're faced with families and their home providers who are dealing with challenging behaviors and they've developed a routine, that's the easy stuff, right? People will know to put a routine in place. People will know that consistency is pretty important. So when you have that staff member in front of you at these meetings, what they may not understand is the important role that cueing the body and mind during this routine. How does that happen? How does this cueing take place? What types of things do we do to cue the child? Things like, it could be an auditory, it could be visual, but it's also the routine itself. So that might be a component that they're not really thinking about that you can layer in during a meeting very quickly and explain without too much detail so that they can go home and improve the routine. What else might they be missing? They might be missing the concept of sleep pressure. How do we develop sleep pressure? Why is sleep pressure important? And what does, bedtime timing, how does that play a role in sleep pressure and the effects that has on being able to fall asleep, not only fall asleep, but fall asleep independently of their parents and then stay asleep or get themselves back to sleep if they wake up during the night, which we all do. They may also be not really understanding the importance of a sleep space. Now, they might have a situation where the child just has their own room and that's a sleep space, so this has never come up. But for children whose families find them falling asleep on the couch, on the rug, maybe somewhere else in the house, then being able to identify that a consistent sleep space is important. So helping this BCBA, RBT, whatever the home provider is in terms of their role, helping them guide the family by just giving them these nuggets to think about. The other thing they should be thinking about are dependencies. Now, dependencies play a huge role. Some of them are not terrible. We all probably have some dependencies. I like rain sounds when I go to sleep. My 14-year-old, the same thing. He'll listen to rain or thunderstorms when he goes to sleep, and that works for us. I love the sound of a fan running through the night. That works for me. But that is my personal choice on how I enjoy going to sleep. Those are dependencies that, for me, don't change through the night, which is very important, and they don't change for my son either. So when they're looking at having sleep challenges, the conversation about dependencies needs to come up. Not only does it need to come up, but then we need to make a game plan on how to get to the point where we're able to remediate that so that we either have removed dependencies that are not serving us, or we have allowed or accommodated for dependencies that will serve us and stay in place throughout the night. Now, if any of this is resonating with you and you want to learn more, check out my Thinkific platform. There I have webinars where you can absolutely learn more about all of the things that I've detailed and then some. What are some common sleep challenges? And what should we be thinking about when we're looking to remediate or adjust our protocols because of those? Go in there, check that out. I also have a parent webinar. It's like a mini webinar where it just teaches the fundamental basics about how to set a very good routine in place. It's 30 minutes, it's quick, it should get parents in and out. So if you're interested in that and you're a parent, you should go check that out. Also, I have a truckload of free resources, things like narratives so that you can build a social story around sleep. And there's several options in that download for you. There's also the sleep hygiene checklist, which I have here, and I know it's backwards, but this hygiene checklist goes through things like, how do we take into account the environment? How do we look at things like the routine, are elements that are important in place? So check that out. It's going to be very helpful to you. In addition, you will find a list of calming activities that are options. Is this everything in the world? No, but this is going to help you to think outside the box and to get the families or those caregivers to think about other things that will help build a calming routine. Do they even know that they need to build a calming routine? Good question. So, in addition, check out my platform on Instagram at sleeptype_Gabby. There you're going to find tons of reels that talk about lots of different things about sleep, remediating problem behavior, developing lagging skills, because there are lagging skills when it comes to getting to sleep, and everything else. And of course, subscribe here with me on YouTube. I have some long form content. I'm building the library, I promise. I'm really trying. But you can look at that and then you can scroll through and get some information to help you out. So I hope that helps. Till next time.